Hello Games, the studio behind Geodanger, No Man's Sky, and now the hugely anticipated Light No Fire, a small team out of Guildford, UK. They somehow managed to release one of the most hyped games in history. Their founder and public face, Sean Murray, had us all believing that this was going to be the next greatest thing in gaming. Infinite planets, true exploration, a living and breathing universe. It was shaping up to be something that no one had ever seen before. But then the game actually launched, and every gamer had the same question. Where the hell is the game we were promised? What we got felt empty, broken, and lifeless. It was missing major features. Multiplayer didn't work, and it just wasn't what we'd been sold on. People were angry, and rightfully so. It could have ended Hello Games right then and there, but instead of vanishing and cashing out, they went quiet. No PR stunts, no paid DLC, just silence. Then they got to work. They stayed in the shadows. And update after update, they rebuilt No Man's Sky into what it should have been all along. Slowly, the hate turned into praise. Disappointment turned into respect. And what was once considered one of the worst launches of all time quickly became one of the greatest comeback redemption arcs in history. But that leads the question that's kind of stuck with me ever since. Can we fully trust them now? Is Light No Fire the real deal? Or are we being walked down the same road once again? Let's dive deep into the hype, the history, and the comeback, and figure out if Hello Games really deserves a second chance, or if we're being fooled all over again. Before the chaos of No Man's Sky, Hello Games was just a tiny little team making a quirky side-scroller called Geodanger. Apparently it was fun and lighthearted. It even had this kind of charming, if Trials and Sunday Morning cartoons kind of mixed together. It didn't blow anyone away, but it had a vibe. It even made its way to iOS eventually. But nobody looked at Geodanger and thought, these guys are going to change the industry. I mean, just look at this clip from Pete Donaldson, talking about pitching a game just before the reveal of No Man's Sky.
I kind of knew someone from Hello Games through a friend of a friend, and they just finished. Is it Geodanger they did? Before?
Yeah.
The day before they announced No Man's Sky, I emailed one of them to say, hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you do a pushover game? They were like, we're quite fucking busy, to be honest, Pete. Fuck off.
It's one of the most anticipated video games.
The day before they announced the biggest fucking game ever.
But that's when things all started to shift. When No Man's Sky launched in 2016, it was one of the most overhyped disasters in gaming history. We were promised a living, breathing universe, multiplayer, epic space battles, giant sandworms, base building, and what we got? An empty galaxy, broken promises, no real multiplayer, and gameplay that looped on itself after just a few hours.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Do the animals eat each other?
Yeah, they do.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Will the game be fun?
Yes.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
It was marketed as infinite, but it felt lifeless. Players felt lied to. The refunds exploded. Most studios would have folded right there, but Hello Games didn't run. They went completely silent, with no excuses, no press tours, and no promises, just radio silence. But they worked. They worked quietly, and they started fixing the game. And with each update, they built trust. One patch at a time. No Man's Sky didn't just get better, it evolved. And what followed wasn't just a redemption, it was a complete rebirth. In 2018, No Man's Sky hit a turning point. they created the next update. This was a moment that changed everything. Suddenly you can play in full third person. You could walk, jetpack, and fly while seeing your character in action. It instantly made the universe feel more personal. Multiplayer, it was finally real. You could explore, build, and survive with your friends or strangers in the same world together. And base building, there was no limits anymore. Build on any planet, any terrain, as big as you want, even underwater. They also gave us freighter fleets, huge command ships with missions, expeditions, and real management systems. And all of it was wrapped in a total visual overhaul. Better lighting, better textures, deeper skies. The game finally looked like the box art promised. Next didn't just patch things, it reinvented No Man's Sky. This was the real launch. August 2019, No Man's Sky went even bigger with a Beyond update. This wasn't just a patch, it was a triple update rolled into one. First came VR support, and it wasn't watered down, it was the entire game. Fully playable in virtual reality. The sense of scale was insane. Planets felt massive and space felt infinite. I'm telling you, if you haven't played this game in VR, give it a shot. If you've got a PS5, buy the PSVR 2 and try it out. I played on a high-end PC and I gotta tell you, this game in VR is just so atmospheric. But also, the Beyond update brought us No Man's Sky Online, a new hub called the Nexus. It let players meet, trade, and run missions together in real time, making the universe feel even more alive. And technology trees completely overhauled how you progress. Unlocking upgrades now felt meaningful and earned, not just random loot drops. Beyond wasn't just adding more stuff, it restructured how you played. The moment Hello Games proved that they were all in. Next came Origins and Sentinel, and that's when things really started to get good. When Origins hit, the whole universe got cracked wide open. New planets, bigger landscapes, weather that could kill you in seconds, and alien worlds that actually felt alien. Then Sentinels. It brought to life combat. Suddenly you had firepower, upgraded weapon systems, new enemy types, robotic mechs that actually chased you down. It wasn't just survival anymore, it felt like War of the Worlds. It wasn't the game we were promised at launch, not yet, but for the first time, it really felt like they were fixing things. This wasn't just patchwork anymore, it was evolution. Even this year, 2025, they released the Worlds Part 1 and Part 2 update. Just alone, Worlds Part 2 transformed the universe with new stars, new story, and new planets. You could explore ancient ruins, gas giants, and water worlds, and discover strange creatures, varied biomes, and dramatic terrain, featuring new gameplay, huge improvements in lighting, and water rendering. It was like the game just reinvented itself again. They're on an absolute roll with No Man's Sky. And there are just two other updates that come out in 2025 as well. The Relics update and the Beacon update. And that brings me to the last question. Will Light No Fire launch like No Man's Sky did back in the day? Or will it launch like No Man's Sky now? From the trailer, it looks good, but something about it also feels like it's missing a piece. Now, I know the trailer came out about a year ago, and since then, a lot of time, care, and people have been poured into this game. Way more developers are working on Light No Fire than ever worked on No Man's Sky when it launched. I know this isn't being rushed, and I know it's been cooking for years. I just hope it lives up to the promise, that it's not just another No Man's Sky copy and paste set on Earth. I want it to be more. I want Hello Games to blow us away, because deep down, I honestly think they've got it in them.